The Arctic is no longer a distant, frozen wilderness. It is becoming one of the world's most strategic regions. As ice melts and new sea routes open, global powers are turning their attention north. Canada now finds itself at the center of a growing geopolitical contest between the United States and Russia. The Arctic holds vast reserves of oil, gas, and critical minerals. It also offers shorter shipping routes between Asia, Europe, and North America. Whoever controls the Arctic gains economic power, military advantage, and influence over future global trade. Canada claims nearly 40% of the Arctic coastline. These lands and waters are legally Canadian territory, but defending them is a different challenge altogether. Extreme weather, vast distances, and limited infrastructure make Arctic defense one of the hardest tasks in modern geopolitics. Russia has heavily militarized its Arctic. It operates dozens of icebreakers, reopened Soviet-era bases, and regularly conducts military exercises in the far north. Moscow views the Arctic as central to its national security and economic future. The United States sees the Arctic as a critical security zone, especially through NATO. Washington worries that Russian dominance could threaten North American defense. As a result, the US expects Canada to play a stronger role in securing the region. Canada is strategically positioned between two Arctic giants. It relies on the US for continental defense, yet must assert its own sovereignty. Balancing cooperation with independence has become one of Ottawa's biggest Arctic challenges. Many of Canada's Arctic defense systems are outdated. Long-range radar networks, ports, and patrol capabilities lag behind those of other Arctic powers. Experts warn that without major investment, Canada risks losing control over its northern territory. Canada and the United States are now upgrading NORAD, the Joint Aerospace Defense Command. New radar systems, satellites, and surveillance technologies aim to detect threats earlier and protect North America from the Arctic frontier. Indigenous communities have lived in the Arctic for thousands of years. As military and economic activity increases, their voices are becoming crucial. Canada's Arctic defense strategy must also respect Indigenous rights and local knowledge. Climate change is transforming the Arctic faster than any other region on Earth. Melting ice makes access easier, but also increases risks. The race to control the Arctic is speeding up, and Canada must adapt quickly. Canada faces a defining choice: invest heavily in Arctic defense and infrastructure, or risk being overshadowed by stronger powers. The decisions made today will shape Canada's sovereignty for decades to come. Stuck between the United States and Russia, Canada must prove it can defend its Arctic territory. The Arctic is no longer just the edge of the map, it is the front line of the future. Canada is not alone in watching the Arctic. China, though not an Arctic nation, has declared itself a near-Arctic state and is investing heavily in polar research and shipping routes. Europe is also increasing its Arctic presence. This growing international interest makes Canada's role even more critical, as competition quietly intensifies beneath the ice. Canada is not alone in watching the Arctic. China, though not an Arctic nation, has declared itself a near-Arctic state and is investing heavily in polar research and shipping routes. Europe is also increasing its Arctic presence. This growing international interest makes Canada's role even more critical, as competition quietly intensifies beneath the ice.